Alrighty then, hello everybody, Steak Shop Boy here, and today I will be doing a review of the Mad Catz MMO7 mouse. And yes, you did just check the title. Okay, in all seriousness though, today I'll be unboxing the iMac with Retina 5K display, the late 2015 model. Okay, let's get right into this. So this is the late 2015 27-inch iMac with Retina 5K display, as I've just said. The model that I have is almost fully spec'd. It has the 4.0 GHz Intel quad-core chip with turbo boost up to 4.2 GHz. I kept the RAM at 8 gigs because I personally never use all 16 gigs on my MacBook. And really, if I found that 8 gigs was enough, I could upgrade it later with aftermarket chips, because this computer allows you to do that easily because of this port on the back. And on top of all of that, it would probably end up being cheaper because you're not paying the Apple tax for the RAM, so you'd be paying more like $150 instead of like $200. You save a little bit of money that way. It also has the AMD Radeon R9 M295X 4GB graphics card. Hopefully that can run my displays. We'll see. Okay, and to top it all off, it has a 3TB Fusion drive, and just in case you don't know what a Fusion drive is, basically it's an SSD, which I believe is 128 gigs, somewhere around there, and then the rest of it is a hard drive, spinning disk, so that's a bit slower. What it does is just stores the apps and things that you use most frequently on the SSD so that they are quick to get to, and the stuff that's in long-term storage goes to the hard drive. Yeah. So if you want to spend the extra $70, you can get yourself a Magic Trackpad over the Magic Mouse. I personally got the Magic Trackpad because I like to use a mouse and a trackpad at the same time. Call me weird, I know. So I've been waiting to get this computer since June this year, so like 6 months. It's not that long of a wait. I was waiting to get this computer because I thought that it would have Thunderbolt 3.0, which came out around June, and it would be able to run an external 5K display because the internals of the iMac can run that display. It's just the I/O. Thunderbolt 3 has up to 40 gigabytes per second data transfer, which is enough to run an external 5K display, which needs 27 gigabytes per second data transfer, I believe. I was just really disappointed in Apple that they didn't add the Thunderbolt 3 and just kept it with the Thunderbolt 2.0. Okay, so there's a quiet period in the editing for the next 30 or so seconds, so instead of talking, I'm going to let you listen to the luxurious peeling of the plastic sounds, which are great and stuff. Welcome back. So, on the back of the iMac, if you go left to right, we have a 3.5mm audio jack, an SD card slot, which I can see myself using often, and 4 USB 3.0 ports. I actually am kind of sad that they didn't add the USB Type-C ports. I mean, it's not like I have any devices that use USB Type-C, but it would have been nice to have a future-proofed computer, you know, because I'm going to have this for the next couple of years. Next, there is 2 DisplayPort 2.0 ports, which Thunderbolt 2, you know. And lastly, there's a gigabit Ethernet connection. Alright, so here we have the Magic Keyboard. It isn't the Magic Keyboard 2, like the trackpad and mouse are, because apparently the last one wasn't magical. It was just the Apple wireless keyboard. Anyway, the new keyboard has 33% more key stability, thanks to a new scissor mechanism inside, much like the butterfly mechanism found on the new MacBook. I have no idea why they called it something different. Don't just question Apple. So if I press down at the edge of a key, nearly the entire key goes down, unlike on the past keyboard. It's a little bit different, not too big of a thing. So, all of the new peripherals, be it the Magic Keyboard, the Magic Trackpad 2, or the Magic Mouse 2, they are all rechargeable. They get recharged with a lightning cable, which is actually found in the box with the thing, so you don't need to go out and buy another one, which is pretty awesome. So you don't need to worry about the AA batteries or anything like that. I can't show you an example right now, but I know that the Magic Mouse 2 just got a little bit worse. Like the battery compartment on the first generation Magic Mouse, that was bad. And then they stick the charging port for the Magic Mouse 2 on the bottom. Like, why do you do that? Well, at least it isn't too bad. I mean, you just need to plug it in for 2 minutes, and it has 2 hours worth of battery life, so that's pretty good. If you charge it for the full, I think it's like 9 hours or whatever, it'll last a month, which is bloody insane. It's great. So I decided now would be a good time to tell you some fun facts about the computer. The first one is that the Apple logo on the back is actually quite functional. It's not just there for aesthetics. The Wi-Fi signal and basically every other wireless signal actually travels through that, just because it can't travel through aluminum or really any type of metal, or at least not very freely. It flows through the plastic just fine though. And that little hole underneath the power adapter, that is actually a Kingston lock port. So you can lock your computer to your desk. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you can if you want. You can buy them on the Apple. You can buy the locks on the Apple Store. So, yeah. Okay, so let's do a time lapse of setting up the computer. I just want to point out that this actually took an hour and a half to set up, and I decided to record it because I thought it would only be 10 minutes instead of time lapsing it. So the file ended up being a 20 gigabyte file. Boy, was it ever hard to get over to the computer. Yeah, enjoy. For some odd reason, the first boot always sounds like 10 times better than all of the others. I don't know why. Okay, so I'm going to go through the entire setup process thing because I want to do that. And, yeah. See you in a little.
Chase the wind and touch the sky. A star's light shines on long after it dies. Oh, in the night, I live every day as if it's your last. All memories been bright like beacons of the past. Oh, in the night, now we race against the sun. Now we race against the now we race against the sun. Now we race against the race against the sun. Now we race against the sun. Race against the sun. Now we race against the sun. Now we race against the sun. Now we race against the sun. Ooh.
Okay, so this was recorded as a 1080p video. It is kind of noisy, but you can't really see the pixels even when I get up this close. And if we go over to the display towards the right, that is the same resolution as the previous generation iMac. And you can see the pixels quite clearly. It's a big difference, actually. I like it. Okay, so let's do a quick comparison between the late 2012 MacBook Pro. It's fully spec'd, minus like 200 gigs off the hard drive, and this iMac. So what I'm going to do is, over a minute, I will record the FPS every 5 seconds. What I'm going to do is also get an average, show you guys the charts, and yeah. So the first test that we're going to do is the Minecraft frame rate while looking up, so let's go ahead and do that. So the results aren't all that surprising. We knew that the iMac would beat the MacBook, but it beat it by a lot. And I was actually quite surprised at how low the MacBook was getting up until like the 30-second mark. Then it just like friggin' 150 more FPS just out of nowhere. But what I find the most shocking is that the iMac is actually holding a steady 495 FPS, while the the MacBook is everywhere. It's everywhere. It's all over the chart. So yeah, let's move on to the next test. Okay, so the next test is Minecraft looking forward, the frame rate. Yeah, so the iMac, once again, way ahead of the MacBook. The MacBook was pretty steady here. Nothing too insane. It's about half the frame rate, though. So that's one thing to look out for. And on to the final test now. Okay, so the final test is looking forward and recording. So this should be the most intensive that it is. The iMac is still steady. It's just flatlining. You don't want that to be your heartbeat. You'd be dead. Anyway, it's staying at a solid 150, which is plenty good enough for a 60 FPS Minecraft video. We'll have to see about that in the near future. Wink, wink. The MacBook, on the other hand, it's running an average of 60 frames per second. It dips below that every once in a while, but it's doing a pretty good job of it. So, yeah. So you get a bonus test. Yay. This will be showing you just Skylands and Dragon Escape. I had this problem where I froze for about a second or two at the start of the game on my MacBook, and on the iMac it does not freeze, not at all. Like, well, it does for like a quarter of a second. You don't notice it. It's awesome. I like that. Alrighty then, guys, that'll be all for my review of the 2015 iMac with the Retina 5K display. I hope you enjoyed. If not, feel free to leave a dislike down below and a comment. I screwed it up, but I don't care. I'm leaving it in. So I decided to leave you with a blooper because I made a blooper and it's good and stuff. So, yeah. Goodbye. I don't have any devices that use USB Type-C, but it's next. What the Train! The one time that I get it good, you just come in and you crash the party. That's the fourth train in the last 30 minutes, guys. Now you're interrupting me. Who isn't interrupting me? No one!